Brother Steve here in Hollywood, California. It's going to be a great night tonight. We going to have a good time tonight. It's going to be on, and then some. The people are texting, they're chiming, they're sharing. If you watch this broadcast, you want to share right now. The chairman himself, Bishop Dwight Walls, is with us on tonight, and we're going to talk about some stuff. Now, everything we're going to talk about may not be all church stuff-ish, but there's some, but you know what they say, when you got an alt, how do you spell alt? When you got an alt with your brother, not against your brother, with your brother, you straighten it out. So we're going to come on here and straighten out this alt him and I got tonight. You know, it happened today at the drive-thru. Okay, so he's trying to figure it out. So it's a great time we have it on tonight. And Bishop Dwight Walls Sr., the chairman of the trustee board, is with us on tonight, and our very, very, very special surprise guest. We need you to share this video. We got a surprise guest. Bishop is going to be with us tonight. Brother Steve from Hollywood, California. It's about 75 degrees out here. You stay tuned. It's a conversation with the chairman, Bishop Dwight Walls, chairman of the National Board of Trustees. And let me bring in my dear friend, Bishop Jack Whitehead, who's going to join us on our broadcast tonight. And he's going to have the joy to introduce our very, very special guest on tonight. Bishop Whitehead, how you doing tonight?
I am fine. Thank you, Brother Steve. How about you?
Bishop, I'm good. I'm so glad to see you on. And how's the weather there in that wonderful, wonderful, beautiful state of Michigan?
Are you in California?
Bishop, you know I'm right here in Hollywood, California. You know, I had to roll the windows down today in the car as I went out today. You know, so
it's not as wonderful as yours.
Okay,
but we're surviving. We're surviving. We've had some big storms, but we are surviving.
Well, Bishop, I'm so glad to see you and all the great things that you're doing. If you're watching our broadcast, we want you to share. Bishop Dwight Walls is coming on in a few minutes. He's probably a little nervous right now, but he's got some great things he's going to share. He's already laughing in the waiting room right there. We have a good time tonight. Bishop Jack Whitehead, tell us about your dear friend, Bishop Dwight Walls.
Well, I think he is a person that's overdue. I think it's kind of sad that he has served as the chairman. He is the chairman of the trustee board and has been a part of the board for 30 years, which means he probably knows more about the business of our church and the business of our denomination than any other one person. And actually, we felt it was his time for him to be on the general board. Whether or not that will happen, I'm not sure. But he is definitely our most valuable man when it comes to the operation of our church. And so he is going to be asking you for his vote or for you to vote for him. But I'm saying that should be a given without asking. Anytime somebody has been where he has been, served under every bishop we've had, for 30 years. And I think that begins with Joe Patterson, L.H. Ford, Chandler Owens, Gilbert Patterson, Charles Blake. And so you can't ask for more. So I ask in his behalf, everybody that's in the Church of God in Christ, make sure to support Bishop Walls and anyone else you can encourage. Let's give him a tremendous vote of confidence to help us in the next 4 years. Amen. So I'm glad to step back and let Bishop Walls have it from here.
God bless you. God bless you, Bishop Jack Whitehead. There he is, the one only, the chairman himself, Bishop Dwight Walls Sr. Chairman, how you doing? How you doing tonight?
I am I am doing wonderfully well, and I am glad to be with my friend, my brother Steve in Hollywood, California. I thank God I'm able to be with you tonight.
All right, Bishop Whitehead, if you can hang out with us just a few minutes in the waiting room, we're going to come back to you in a few moments.
Okay.
Bishop Walls, tonight's a great night. Tonight, the people are commenting already. The people are commenting. Linnell Perry is saying hello to Bishop Whitehead. Carrie Barnes, we had her on earlier. She's saying hello to the people out there. The people are commenting. Sheila Cook from Ohio is commenting right now. If you want to say hello to Bishop Walls right now, you can say hello to the chairman himself. The chairman himself is looking great on tonight. We're glad to have you, Mr. Chairman. And the people, we'll open the door for comments right now. If you want to say hello to the chairman, this is what I'm going to do on tonight's broadcast. Because we have the chairman on, I'm going to extend some gifts. And I think we're going to give away some UV cell phone sanitizer kits. I'm going to give away 100 of those, because the chairman, I'm going to give away 100 $300 restaurant certificates tonight. So they're worth $300 a piece. I'm going to give away 100 of those. And I'm going to go give away, if you need some prescription drugs, some help with your prescription drugs, things of that nature, then we're going to give away some discount cards. I'll give away 75 of those. But you got to go to COGICFamilyLife.com to go get them. And if you share this video, let us know in the comments. The people will not stop commenting. And they're so glad to see you, Mr. Chairman, on tonight. Tonight it's just going to be this is epic. We are excited. But, Mr. Chairman, let me ask you now, you said you got an alt with your brother. We got to talk about the alt. Let's get the alt out the way. Mr. Chairman, how was the chili today?
The chili was wonderful. I was with my grandchildren going through one of the drive-through restaurants, and Brother Steve happened to call. This is what he's talking about. And the young ladies, well, most of the people in these restaurants know me. So when I pulled through, Brother Steve was overhearing our conversation, and she said,
no, overhearing. I was on speakerphone, bitch. I can overhear. It was purpose here. Purpose.
Well, you chimed in. I can tell you that. And Brother Steve heard this young lady tell me, Bishop Walls, you have no business getting chili and getting that sauce you put in it, that chili sauce and those crackers that has salt on them. And I'm going to tell your people on you, and you chimed in so she could hear you and let her know you're going to call my wife and tell on me. So I have an alt against you. And
hold on. You got an alt against. I was supposed to have an alt with you.
No, I switched. I switched.
Oh, what they say? If you got an alt, okay, Bishop, we're gonna put this in the comments. Can anybody spell the word alt? Because I can't spell it.
Yes, it's spelled A-alt. That's it. That's how you spell it.
Bishop, you have been in this church for so long. I preach. We have Sister Jennifer Patterson Hill. She joins us on our wonderful broadcast. And the one and only Bishop Joe Chase, will be talking to him this week. He supports, he misspelled, he upports Bishop Walls, huh? We've got alt. There it is alt. A-O as O-U-G-H alt.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. Bishop, now I know we're gonna get into the church and get into your campaign, but Bishop,
yeah.
You like to not when you ate the chili today, did you look? Did they have any meat in the chili? Any beans?
Oh yes, definitely.
Don't stand up, Bishop. Don't stand up. I know, don't stand up. But did it have any meat in the chili, Bishop?
Yes, it did. It had a lot of meat in it. A lot.
So, Bishop, so your mind went back to your days when you was hunting.
Oh my goodness, that's where you're going with it.
See?
No, it wasn't game chili, but I do hunt and fish all over the country, and a little bit about the history of the hunting club.
Yeah.
My father, the late great Bishop Walls, seen a need for the young men and women of the church to have something to do besides go to church.
Okay.
Go to Sunday school and go to Tuesday night, Friday night, and Sunday morning and Sunday night in district meeting. Oh my God, the list goes on and on.
Oh, it just goes
So
on.
what he did, he created an opportunity for young people to go up into northern Michigan to a place called Idlewild, Michigan, and we have a greater Shiloh northern campground retreat there now. And so we hunt and fish all over the nation. And it grew from just a local church to an international club. And I hunted and fished out with, this was my 43rd year straight going out west to hunt deer, elk, and antelope. And Bishop J.O. Patterson, after my passing of the late great Bishop Walls, we changed the name from Shiloh Bullseye Sportsman's Club and named it after my father and J.O. Patterson. Later on, Bishop J. Newell Haynes was in the club.
What?
So we had to name his name. Jacob Cohen, the late great Bishop Cohen from Miami, was in the club. And so we named it the Walls, Patterson, Haynes, and Cohen Bullseye Sportsman's Club. And in the club now, we have bishops from all over the country go every year from wherever state they're from. We meet in Montana, then go down into the state of Wyoming and have about a 10, 12-day hunt and have a ball. We do use the meat for fundraisers and some consumptions, but it has been a wonderful, the hunt with Bishop J.O. Patterson Sr. and Bishop, the General Board, outside of this going to church and being in national meetings, just to be in campgrounds and standing in cabins and riding horses and fishing in the mountains. Oh my God, Bishop Patterson's last hunt shot a deer, elk, and antelope in 3 days. And I watched him just be himself. And it was a pleasure to be with our leaders. And right now, we just came back in October and we shot 10 deer, and we do use some of the meat to make chili.
Well, Bishop, on behalf of everybody, I want to thank you for that hunt that you've done. I've got some things right here, and I'm grateful for Bishop. So we got this right here. So this is going to be, I'm going to take this down to the kitchen. Well, thank you. I'm not going to join the club because then it'll be Patterson, Coyne, Harris. Well, it'll just be 12 people on the club. So we thank you for this right here, Bishop. Thank you so very much. So, Bishop, everybody is joining us tonight. Okay, now Bishop Chase here, I spelled it right, support. Okay, now he's going to type it right, okay? Everybody is jumping on tonight. We are so glad. Share this video right now. Share this video. Superintendent Melton Timmons supports your chairman, Jennifer Patterson. Okay, I can't post that comment somebody wrote. Okay, we're going to post this comment. I mean, it was a good comment, Bishop, but, it was a little happier comment. Okay, so we're going to, they know what they said. So it's fun, but, okay, God bless Sister Sheila Terry out there supporting you. Vote Wall for chairman. The people, they're just going crazy. And you never know. Oh, I support Mildred Lindsay. I support Bishop Walls. The chairman, they are supporting all over the place. And you never know who I may have. Oh my gosh, wait a minute. Is this LeBron? Okay. If you want to make a comment, if you want to say hello to LeBron, inbox me, put your name in the comment. If you want to say hello to LeBron right now, just put your name in the comment right now. LeBron is on. He's actually on watching our broadcast right now, Chairman. LeBron, if you want to say hello to LeBron right now, just say hello. Okay, there's Asia right there. The people are going crazy tonight to have the chairman on. This will not stop. This will not stop. If you want to say hello to you want to say hello to LeBron, go ahead and put your comment. Hi, LeBron. I need about 5 people to say hi to LeBron right now.
You're talking about LeBron James, a basketball player who's a friend of mine. So just tell him I thank God he's on tonight.
No, I was talking about LeBron Jackson, worked for United States Post Office down the street from my house. So LeBron Jackson, he's he's on the broadcast tonight. There's your favorite. There's your daughter. She's supporting you tonight. She got her hands up in the air and she's pointing towards Jesus. So we thank God. Bishop, let's just go right into it. This is 30 years. 30 years. That's literally 3 decades.
32 years.
Well, I was going to add the 2 as the bonus. 32 years.
Yes.
On the board of trustees. Tell us right now, I mean, what have you seen evolve in that 32-year period, Bishop?
Well,
You've
it's been a
served
journey.
the presiding bishop.
It's been a journey to be
Okay.
able to serve under the late great Bishop J.O. Patterson, that brought our church into another era of respect and accountability. It's awesome. And then to serve under every presiding bishop and to learn their spirit and their vision, and to be able to go in and go out and interact with the general board members that have evolved since then, has been an experience that I will never forget. And how it all started
Yes.
was back in the day when my late great father was living. At that time, Bishop Roger Jones was the chairman.
Okay.
And when he would come in from Memphis, sometimes he would fly in and stop in Ypsilanti, and he would go to a restaurant with my father and my brothers. And I was not even preaching then. And I would sit with him and just ask him questions about the trustee board, what they do, what is their responsibilities. I learned the Constitution, and just sitting with Bishop Roger Jones, and then not missing one convocation in 50 years. I haven't missed one workers' spring conference except for one when I lost my brother in 50 years. And I would go to these meetings and find myself around the trustee board, just being there and wanting to be just in their presence to learn what they do. So I came up from just being a person that wanted to know, and then it evolved. It evolved into the opportunity to run for the trustee board. And when I was on the trustee board, Mother Mildred Lindsay and Bishop Dwight Green, we were came on together in 1988.
Whoa.
And when I came on the trustee board, I came on as a board member, and I wasn't even assigned the first year to a committee. I was learning. And then after I was on the board of trustees, I was given a committee to work on and be the chairman of. And I went from being just a board member. No, when I say just, that's not mediocre, but being a board member.
Well, hold on, Bishop. Let me interrupt you. So you just said something very key there. You said you were on as just a member at large, not on. So basically, you came in as a freshman board member to learn, absorb, sit, and learn.
I requested that. Requested that.
Wow.
I didn't come on saying, with the spirit, I want to run this board. I came on, and Mother St. Carrie Dinwiddie, I'm going to get some names there. Mother Victoria Barnes. Oh, I can go all the way back to Bishop Roger Jones, Bishop Elder Deacon Walter Jones. The names go on and on. The late, great Bishop from Detroit, Bishop Lawrence. And the names, all the older people. And I sat there and just asked Bishop Jones, can I just learn for the first year? And then when I started learning the ins and the outs, then he put me on a committee. And then from there, I went from years later to a second vice chair, to first vice chair, to ultimately being the chairman of the board. 32 years of being exposed to every department, their needs, knowing how they operate, every convocation, haven't missed one AIM. What was AIM? It was UNAC, USAC, Youth Congress. I haven't missed anything in 60 years of those conventions. So I learned all these things by being there, and now being the chair. Oh, God has opened up the horizons where now when I go into it, and I sit with the general board now. Yes. When I have meetings, there's days that I go in and with the secretary, and I'm privy to give my reports, but the presiding bishop allows me to stay in there. So I don't have a seat at the general board table, but I'm in the room. And so I get a chance to learn the ins and out of all the ecclesiastical matters as well. But just learning the church, knowing what the needs, the fiscal needs, and then really learning what the Constitution says I am responsible for. So it has been a journey that the Lord has blessed me to be able to experience. And I thank God for the experience that I gotten just by first being introduced to the board by Bishop Roger L. Jones, the first elected chairman of the board. Now, we had other chairmen, but they were appointed. And so
Oh, that's some history now.
I'm the fourth ever elected chairman. So before that, Bishop Charles Brewer Sr. was not elected during the 1968, then the 72, when we had to go back from the courts and create a constitution. He was appointed the chair of the Board of Trustees. But Bishop Roger Jones was the first. Bishop Roger Jones was, make no mistake, the first elected. So I've been there ever since almost day one, as far as learning and then evolving into being the chairman of the board. And I have worked with people that have been a blessing to the church. And what I do, Brother Steve, since I became the chair, when the National Church elects the Board of Trustees, I look at the pool of people that have been elected.
Yes.
Then I look at what their skills are and what they have been exposed to and what they're going to bring, and then that's how they get on a committee. And we have some of the greatest people in the world working now, and we have some of the greatest minds that are not on the board that are coming up. That if I'm reelected, and if they don't make it, what I'm going to do is give them
that's where I was going. That's where I was going with this. Go ahead, Bishop. That's where I was going. What about the people who this is a sensitive topic, Bishop. Very
sensitive.
We have 150 candidates for 12 seats, for 15 seats, and what if the people, what do we do February 24th, February 25th? So what word of encouragement can you share now to say to those people out there on February 24th, February 25th?
You have 15 incumbents, then you have about another 16, so it's like 32 running.
Yes.
And let's say some of those persons come to me and say, Bishop Walls, I still want to be a part of the board. How can I be exposed to what you and the board, what do y'all really do? What I'm going to do is open it up. Here's what I'm going to do. This is what I plan to do, is take some of these young minds, some of these young people that have skills that is in the stratosphere that can help cultivate our church in the future to the heavens as far as skill levels concerned. And I'm going to let them come in and be assigned to a trustee board member during these national meetings and otherwise, and be with them from day when they get up, come to the meetings, come to all the sensitive things that's being discussed. Some things you can't because we have closed sessions, as the general board does. But they will be exposed to and assigned to a trustee so that they can mirror that trustee and know exactly what we do. So when they are ready to run and are elected, they would have already been exposed. They will already have been given a chance to see what the trustee board's fiduciary responsibilities are and what they are as far as property and all the other committees that we have, insurance. Oh my God, the list goes on and on, that they can then say, this is my skill level, and I'm going to assign them to someone that would take them under their wings, and let's get these young folk involved in the national church. I'm going to do that.
We've heard it exclusive tonight with Brother Steve and Bishop Walls. You've just given people motivation, encouragement, and I see if you're one of the trustee board members out there watching, let's see your support. Trustee member Joe Chase, 100% supporting you, Bishop. That is literally ingenious, because when we look at the Super Bowl was won by the quarterback who had age, years, and experience. Bishop, you're bringing 32 years of experience, so you can smell it. You can smell it when they walk in the room. You already know. Sounds good. Listen, so you already know in advance if they're coming to hang out, to have fun, or they're coming to really. So that's almost like a trustee internship program.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. Brother Steve, I am the voice of experience.
Yes.
And I'm only something years old. I forget.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Bishop. Hold on to that. Hold on. Give my red cup out, Bishop. You go now.
But people need to understand that when their time comes, whether it's today or tomorrow, they need to have already had. our church sponsored the Head Start program.
Okay.
And we built a brand new school next door to our church. It's a 2-story ultra-modern building. And I was one of the Head Start founders in the state of Michigan. And I started out being a classroom aide, but then I ended up being the head teacher. And ultimately, I became the director of the program. I'm showing you again, you got to start somewhere and give people a chance to get involved in what they love. I don't want my children that I have some of the preachingest children, and they support Greater Shiloh Church work unbelievably well. But I want them to say, I want to be a part of the church that my grandfather, the late great Bishop Walls, was a bishop, and their father was a bishop in. I want my grandchildren to be able to say, I want to be a part of what they love, because I love it also, because I've been drenched in it. I've been baptized in it. And I've seen the good and I've seen the not so good. But the bottom line is they need to be exposed and given an opportunity. And that's what I'm going to do.
I mean, Superintendent Melton Timmons, great vision from our bishop. This is literally blown up Facebook right now. # visionary leader, because I mean, you've really, as we said, it's 17 seats and 200 people running. So basically, you've given people hope. You've given people a chance to say, hey, if you don't get it this round, come learn something. And so that way, when their time comes, because some trustee board members have said they just want to finish what they started and then move on, and this, you're basically setting this person up for greater experience, so there'll be a greater asset. And they may have to name this the Walls internship program.
But I wish, Brother Steve, you know how we wish above all things that we would prosper, be in health, even as our souls prosper. Why is it that we cannot do that even for a portion of the general board? Let some men be exposed. Exposed. I didn't say none of it. I said exposed. Now, I know I'm stepping in someone else's territory. And I also know that we have the youth department. And I know that there was mentorships there, and I've seen it work. The women's department, I see Mother Barbara McCoo and the mothers before her take young women and prepare them for the future. So why can't we take some of these elected positions and take our young people that have a desire to be a part of what they have invested their lives in so far? Why can't we do that? I want to be the first one. I am the visionary. I am a visionary, rather, but I am the voice of experience, because I've been there. I've done that, and I have been given the opportunity. The General Assembly has elected me 8 consecutive times. Bishop, before the passing of our late great Bishop P. Brooks, he was the most elected. But at this point, the 2 most elected living is Bishop Blake and Bishop Dwight Walls. We have been elected more than anybody in the Church of God in Christ, because somebody seen something in us to say, give them a chance.
Bishop Walls, as the people are sharing, you see the note at the bottom. I want you to go to COGICFamilyLife.com right now. Go to COGICFamilyLife.com and go get some free, some bonus materials, some great things. Join our team, join our family. Bishop, we can't let this go down. The AIM convention, giving honor to our Chairman Linwood Diller. We have an internship program that we have that's operated by Vice Chairman Mann. But this is on a whole nother level to have a mentorship program for trust. Now, but Bishop, I'm gonna jump right into it. How would you, and I know you're developing this and you put it in place, as you're reelected as chairman, but would there be like a screening process or a way to, go through another vetting process, or would you kind of deal with the first round of the people who are already running for trustee board to say, okay, let me look at the stock here and see who's who, or have a meet? How would you do that, Bishop?
Well, you look at what the church gives us as far as who is elected.
Okay.
And then I would put out the invitation.
Okay.
My son, Elder Dion, was, along with Elder Mann, Elder Dion was the one that helped put the internship program together. And so when you do that, what I believe they did was you put the invitation out to those that are interested and see who is interested. And when they come in, and they are going to come in,
Yes.
and then what they bring with them is a resume of what their skill level is or interest level is, so that
Okay.
then you can put them on the right committee or with the right persons. If we do that, we won't be losing in the future, tomorrow, our young people going to other denominations.
Oh.
You see, these other denominations is giving our COGIC young people, they're
And
giving them
leaders.
churches,
Yeah.
they're giving them a pay, a job, not just
Yeah.
pastoring, but a job to do whatever their skill level is. We send people, and we our program, our school down in Atlanta,
Lexington or
no,
Atlanta?
in Atlanta. And when these young
IT.
people come,
Yes.
yeah, I tell you, when they come out, I would like to see those people that we have invested in budgetarily be responsible for staying with the Church of God in Christ at some church, giving back at least a year
Oh. Okay.
something that they have been given that we gave them. We gave them the room, the board, the educational expertise. They get their degree, and then they go to another denomination. I don't want to lose our young people.
Okay.
I want to keep them in the church.
You know, Bishop, while we're sitting here, the people are commenting. They are loving this broadcast tonight. They're loving this, Bishop. I'm actually sitting here designing my flyer right now for the trustee board intern program. I'm designing my flyer, Bishop, so I can, come and sit in the room too as well.
I think I'm assigning you to me. I think I better work with you.
Oh, just on Bishop, my feet are hurt. You know, I do all that walking down there. My feet are hurt, Bishop.
Oh yeah, you've already gotten me on that.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Can I just share that for about 10 seconds?
Go ahead, Bishop.
This man of God right here that we talking to, Brother Steve, sent word by my cousin Elder Kenneth Walls. I'm on the pulpit enjoying the service, mind you. and I got a text to come up to the wherever the area was called,
the
in the America Center, and It took almost a week to get there. It was so far away. It was such a long walk. When I got there, we were so high up, the air was thin. It was unbelievable. And he's sitting back there in the dark, broadcasting the service to the world, and then asked me, "How you doing?" I said, "Man, I can't even breathe yet. My knees hurt, my feet hurt, and now you want to interview me on national to the world?" And oh my God, this man. You know what? That's the other art I have against you.
Oh, okay.
That's
no
the
problem.
That's it. I had to find it.
Chris Payne, I need the cart. Chris Payne, get the cart. Help get me up there in the nosebleed section. Okay, hold on. Deacon Steve. Oh, now I'm Deacon Steve. Okay, no problem. Evangelist Walls is the age limit. All right, you know what? We were 3,000 feet up in the air. Now we was way up in the rafters broadcasting.
Oh my God, where we ever?
Bishop, you know what? I can't say what I really wanted to say. I had to turn the camera off and say it off the air, but we is way up there in the top of the America Center.
And I found out that you didn't have a problem because they gave you a scooter to ride.
No, hold on, Bishop. I got that scooter on my own.
Well, you had one and I didn't. But you know what? Let me talk about that. That's what happens once you're elected. We do this budgeting, and we have budget hearings where the departments come in, they bring their budget requests, and some days we get there at 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 or 11 o'clock at night. A lot of the times y'all don't see us is because we are absolutely in session from the time we get to the national convention to almost the time we leave, and we're not able to sit in the services. That's another thing you have to give up. Is we get a chance to get a seat on Sunday. I admit that.
Get the free seat.
But you do a seat. But you have to understand that this is a commitment that is not about the seat.
Yes.
It's about you giving your time and your resources. So a lot of the times we are up and really seriously, sometimes we don't even get anything to eat. We have to send out for it. And if restaurants are closed, sometimes being truthful, sometimes we absolutely have what someone has in their briefcase, some crackers, little cheese crackers or peanut
Bishop,
butter crackers.
I know. Bishop, I can attest to that.
And we go to the water fountain to get something to drink because we are committed to doing the work that has been assigned to the trustees of the Church of God in Christ, ascertaining the budgetary needs, budgeting all the conventions. Oh my God, seeing about all the property around the nation, world headquarters. And remember this, I'm the one that puts the chairmen that are the chairmen of these committees that do a bumper job. Yes. But I know what their skill level was, and that's why you have such great success in our property downtown. World headquarters, pristine condition. Let's go down to Lexington, Mississippi. Everything is there. And we lost no insurance coverage. The employees that we had we still kept them with the PPP money, and none were laid off. None lost their jobs. We made sure that, and we did it by doing this. We were the first partakers of the fruit. When we had a $10 million budget, I was assigned by the presiding bishop and general board to pull the trustee board back together and present a budget that we could operate on only on $5 million. But you know how partly how we did it? We took 75% of what we were getting as far as an honorarium and gave it back to the church. And none of us took a honorarium. It was only a 25% honorarium, and we still worked every day at home. Nobody missed a meeting, none of the trustee board meeting, none of the board meetings that I had. And I have a schedule here of meetings that none of them missed. And we worked from sun up to sundown to make sure that this budget worked. And the church is still afloat. We did not sell any property. I heard someone say, well, maybe we will have to sell property in order to keep the church afloat. If we sell all the property, then we'll own nothing. Right. So you don't sell property to get out of a budget woe. You take what you know is best for the church, go back to the departments, present them what our recommendation is, and they agree to it. The General Board of Budget Review Committee agreed to it, and the General Assembly's Budget Review Committee agreed to it, and the church is still afloat. But we were the ones that said, let us be the example. As a matter of fact, what I suggested was we get no honorarium and work for free for the Church of God in Christ. But the presiding bishop said it would be robbery to ask you and other elected officials not to take anything. So we'll at least give you 25%. But my desire was for the church to stay afloat was I didn't get anything. And I did it for my local church. When the late great bishop, I used my own example. That's how I sold it to the trustee board.
Yes, sir.
In order to keep Greater Shiloh together after the late great Bishop Walls died and keep Mother Walls able to live, because when Bishop Walls lived, she rode in Cadillacs and Lincolns. Yes. And I said, I will not allow my mother to live beneath the privilege that she lived under. So I took nothing for 22 years and gave my mother what I was going to get. Every Monday, I would take it over to Mother Walls and make sure that she lived like a queen, like Bishop Walls did. I said, if I can do that, we could do this for the national church. I said, let's don't take a dime. Let us be the first partaker. And they put it back in for us. We didn't. But we agreed to it after the presiding bishop said do it. But the bottom line, we presented nothing. Because we said, in order for us to say to another department what to do, as far as your honorarium, let me present, we don't get a dime. And I meant it. Because the church meant more to me than a nickel. It meant more to me than a seat. It meant more to me than a title. It meant I love and I'm going to support what I love. So I suggested we get nothing. So my brother, when you get on this trustee board, you're going to face some difficult decisions. You're going to have to make some difficult decisions that's going to infringe upon your lifestyle. But I was able to do it and willing to do it to keep the church afloat. I love this church.
Wow. I'm going to say
I
hello
love
to
this church. I love this church.
I love it too. I mean, the work that we do, and I can say, Bishop, and I want to thank God for Bishop Neil Roberson. Thank you so much for that wonderful comment. We try to do what we can. We love what we do. There's many times when we do the live on-air broadcast, Bishop, and you've seen me and Bishop Man up there in the rafters, and we ain't up there by ourselves. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
There's nobody, there's nothing, but our passion is for the people at home. Our passion is for, you may have 4,000 people in that arena, but you have 20,000 who was coming to a convention and their car broke down, or the transmission went out, or the rent is due, and they got to make a decision. Do I go to convention and look grand, or do I be at home without transportation, my job? So we're broadcasting to the people, and it's not a glorious job. You got to get up. You got to be at church late past the dismissal, putting videos, working everybody. And I can attest to what you're saying, because I've come by the trustee board meeting and walked in there. It's like, all right, ain't no food in here. Let me go to the general board chambers to get, because you working. You're always working. And I think tonight, you've given hope. I mean, I'm seeing people logging in, Bishop. These comments will not stop coming in. You've given people hope. You're giving people an opportunity to want to do more, to share more, of what we're doing. And my big sister, Antoinette, has logged in our broadcast. I know my mom is watching in a few minutes. Raynell Henson, she's out there. She's running for trustee board for
great
this year.
mind. She's got a great mind. She's got a great mind.
Unbelievable.
Kyle, man, some of these other young folks have great minds. Great
Yeah.
minds.
But I think what you're going to create for those who are coming along. I talked to one of our key board members, Mother Lindsay, and I'm going to address this issue. Bishop, what do we do for our seasoned saints? Mother Lindsay brought this up, and it was a great point. We need to do our seasoned saints come to convention. They're diehards. They come there on Monday, be there for Mother Kelly's prayer. They're there all week, and some of them by Saturday, the funds get low. And we've seen some seasoned saints eating sandwiches, doing the best. Is there, do you think, a possibility of creating part of the new budget? I say the new post-COVID budget, to be able to have a meal for some of our seasoned saints. That way, at least a couple of days of the week, the national church is going to honor our pioneers, and we're going to feed you well and take care of you. Bishop, let's talk about, not forgetting our pioneers.
I have one idea that we could talk about right now.
Okay.
When we get back together again, and I pray God would help us rebuke this COVID.
Yes.
I ask God every day, God, rebuke this COVID. I had to bury my brother. He didn't die from COVID, but he died right during the COVID, and I had to preach his funeral. It was only 9 people in there, and we have a huge family. And
wow.
It just hurt my heart to see people hurt. And when you talk about older people being hurt,
yes,
that bothers me. I hate to see babies sick, but when I see senior saints that are down to nothing, when we move back to Memphis, when we go back to Memphis,
okay,
I would hope and pray that we could, what we're doing right now, the trustees, is getting the kitchen at Mason Temple back up and running. It's been closed for years.
What?
And we are reopening the kitchen. And if we could give, let's just hypothetically say, a meal would cost $10.
Okay.
I want to find a way that we can undergird, at least pay for, and maybe it'll be $3 or something. And then we got preachers and pastors in the city of Memphis that love senior citizens.
Yes.
And they love the senior saints. And I'm sorry not to get a team together on the trustee board. It's not a budgetary issue. It's about the heart issue. Because I love pastors. I have been appointed a bishop now. And I have churches, some are only 15 or 20. And when I see a pastor struggling, my heart goes out.
Yes.
I went to one and raised $10,000 in one night to put the heat back on. The bottom line is we can do it if we try. So this may not be a budgetary issue.
Yes,
But
sir.
we have bishops that love the people of God. We have pastors all over the tri-state area that love the people of God. If they would open their churches up, one church, two churches, and feed the people for free, and then we undergird them some way somehow with free labor, because people will come and volunteer.
You know, Bishop, I'm glad you said that. That's powerful, because I was reading in, I'm a historian. I love history. I love church history. I just love America. I love history. I love Black history, celebrating Black History Month. I read an article at the COGIC Publishing House in a program in the archives. Bishop McEwen had a note in the convocation bulletin. You know, I'm telling the truth. It said, please see, if you're not able to pay for your dinner, please see Bishop McEwen for your volunteer assignment to help you undergird the cost of your meal.
That was the late great Bishop A.B. McEwen.
Yes, sir.
And he had a love for the people as well. And he's seen that if we have young people, we have seasoned people, we have the millennials that volunteer in our communities, and they want to volunteer in our church. Not only when there's a hurricane or a flood, they want to give back during convocation. We can absolutely do that by getting volunteers from our own people that say, I want to work, and we can feed some of our people. I want to be able to get vouchers.
Okay.
I don't know whether we can do it yet, because it's on the table for discussion that when you register for the convocation, that we get something on our card that will, when you go to different stores or different restaurants, that will give you a percentage off. Man, when I go through McDonald's, I ask for a senior discount on my coffee.
Bitch, I know you do, because I heard you.
Oh man, you weren't supposed to tell that.
I mean, it's true, Bishop.
But I didn't have to show my Church of God in Christ card.
I do the same thing. I got my ARP card. I do the same thing, Bishop. I be getting my discounts.
No, that's called AARP. You got to say ARA.
ARA. Okay, AARP. Okay.
But on the serious note, we have to do something that we could think of that would be a benefit by you even registering.
Yes.
Volunteers. I see Chairman Cook saying volunteers and donations. People will help people when the need is made known. The late great Bishop A.B. McEwen was that one and that voice that made sure that happened. So the bottom line is Mother Lindsay has brought that to the table.
Yes.
Mother Lindsay is the most elected female in the Church of God in Christ's history. She knows what's going on. She knows. So a lot of the things that we do is not budget stuff all the time, but it is about the church being able to budget what we get. Now, if no one is there, we have nothing to budget, correct? So the bottom line is we're to keep our churches healthy and strong. And I have a passion for the pastors all over this nation. I do. I have a passion. My great fathers founded 7 churches.
Wow.
We would be up, as a lot of y'all know, I live in Michigan, but my mother and father roots are in Canada. My father succeeded the late great C.L. Morton Sr.
Yes, Yes.
My father's jurisdiction is still going, where the late great Bishop Lawrence was the prelate.
Yes.
That's the jurisdiction my father founded. So we would be up, living in Ypsilanti, and in Sunday school at 9 a.m. in another country. So I'm showing you to say that people will definitely see a need and meet the need. My father seen a need for us to be in Sunday school, so we got up. My mother started on Saturday night with the big tub in the floor.
You know the tub?
Do I know it?
Everybody share the same water.
It was water. The bottom line is it's about pre-planning is my point I'm trying to get to. And if we do some pre-planning, we could do a lot of things that's not so much a budgetary issue, but the trustee board is a driving force in a lot of issues that you see in and around Memphis, the national church rather, that really others it's in their lane, but we don't ask them to mention us because that's not what we're there for. We're there to make the church run and fiscally sound, rather.
Let me ask you this question. This is probably the most simplest question I ask all night, besides them chili beans that you ate today. So I'm actually a very simple question, Bishop. What is, and this is to help a local pastor before we end our broadcast, what is the exact role of a trustee board member?
Trustee board members are constitutionally affixed in the Constitution. And when you read the Black Book, I don't want to read it. It is, I can almost tell you, it is to ascertain the budgetary needs of the church, its bands, its units, its convocation. Also, we are signed and we have a department called National Properties. We take care of all the properties of the national churches, and then the property that's bequeathed to us comes through the trustee board. I vet the property to make sure that we're not getting a gift that's a white elephant that I can go to what the trustee board has done recently with a parcel of property that could possibly be used for the board of the pastors and elders.
In Germantown. In Germantown.
Exactly. And I'll tell you how that happened. But we are to make sure that all of the property is kept up, insured, our vehicles, etc. Then we also manage the National Properties Office and all of its staff. A lot of people don't know that that's the job constitutionally of the Board of Trustees. The Superintendent of National Properties answers directly to the Chairman of the Trustee Board and the Trustee Board to make sure then that all the assets of the Church of God in Christ is maintained, insured, kept up, and safe. That's our job. But the bigger part of our job right now is the budget, meeting the budgetary needs. And then what we do, we do the budget. And then we have a team that we take it to the general board. Then after we work with that, then it goes to the General Assembly's budget review committee for comments and to look at it as well. So when we come to the General Assembly, all eyes have seen it. But this budget issue that we're going through right now with this pandemic, I call it our pandemic budget.
Right.
And when I appointed Elder Amos Smith as the budget chair, one of the great minds of the church,
man.
And that's what my job was, to find out who on the board can do these jobs. And right now he's the budget chair. The budget is a concern of mine because April will be here again soon.
Yes.
If we live and nothing happens, then we have to come back to the same people that have now went through from March to now that have suffered loss. Some pastors' doors have closed.
Yes.
I know what I'm talking about. Some doors have closed. And we're going to ask these same people for another round of credential reports. And we're going to have to be very, very cautious as to how we do that and strategically do it to let them know that we appreciate their commitment and really raise these funds in the way that it is appreciated. I am concerned about the next budget, the next pandemic budget, because it's going to probably more likely remain around the same what it is right now.
Okay.
And I'm just asking God, and please don't let anybody tell you that trustees, we should be looking at property to sell. If we sell all of our assets, next thing we'll be selling Mason Temple. We cannot sell. See, property is wealth. And we own a lot of property lots downtown. I'm talking about individual lots downtown Memphis. And I have this stuff so ingrained in my mind. I've been around so long. I mean, we have 50 or 60 lots, and I can tell you almost the address to every lot that we have.
50 or 60 lots?
Yes. And I'm not talking about the properties we own on Main Street. I can tell you everything because I've been, and it's gotten so in my heart. It's like studying the Word of God. I study what I am responsible for, and it's in my spirit. So when they say 316, I can tell you where 316 is. I can tell you where 275 Main Street is. I can tell you what every address was in it. And when I first came on, we were getting like $950 a month. Now it's up to $2,500, maybe $3,000 a month. And then when we took the what we call the Russell Street hardware store that was falling down, we put $500,000 in it. Now it could be it's ready now. Before this pandemic, we were putting condos in there that was going to be bringing in. We was going to be bringing in $500,000 a year just in rent.
Wow!
Before the pandemic, so we have a vision, and the vision the plan rather is still in place. It hasn't went away.
Right.
So I can tell you that the future is bright.
Yeah.
Because we won't be like this always.
No. We're
coming out of this, and we're coming this victoriously. Everybody help me say victoriously around the country.
Victoriously. Type it in.
Out of this. Type victoriously in. We are not going to come out of this, and we're not going to, and we're not going to suffer loss where we had to sell off our property. Don't let no one tell you that let's sell property in order to meet the budgetary needs of the church. No. No. If you sell off your assets, you're broke. Property is wealth. It's power. And we own property downtown Memphis.
Where do you, Bishop, as the people are typing victoriously, they're typing victoriously, they're supporting you, Bishop, they're doing great things. You know, there's some things we're going to wrap up and talk about, some things we can't talk about. But Bishop, where do you see the future of our church? Where do you see, I mean, do you see us going back to convention? Do you see us kind of, you know, I mean, where do you see, I mean, from the trustee board perspective, where do you see us, Bishop? Because, I mean, you said, I mean, I said it on the broadcast the other day that I have a passion for churches, small pastors who may be worshiping in a local school or a YMCA or a community center. Before they bring you back to sing praise and worship, they're going to get them kids back in first. So now we've got lots of pastors that's looking, they need somewhere to go. They need somewhere. Oh, Superintendent Timmons, he said he can't spell Victoria. He put the V up. Superintendent Timmons. But people need somewhere to go. And right now, what we have set aside for conventions, it's going to be little, but the trustee board has made it work. Our COVID pandemic budget. What do you think we should tweak some things?
Absolutely. In my humble opinion, if we don't have strong churches, local, we won't have strong districts. All this is not a cliche, it's fact. If we don't have strong districts, we don't have strong jurisdictions. Strong jurisdictions makes a strong national church. Now, if we don't look at our calendar and see that that we could do some things differently as far as maybe the number of times that we're out of our pulpit.
Okay.
Look at your calendar and see I'm out of my pulpit a lot because of what I do.
Yes, sir.
But if we could cut down maybe on that alone, and then amalgamate maybe some conventions, because it's happened in the past where we could have AIM does it now.
Yeah.
Simultaneously do some programming. And then when you do that, let's look at the calendar when we doing this. I was so pleasantly surprised when I heard, I didn't know what was going on the 4th of July at my house.
Isn't it amazing, Bishop? We know what was happening.
People were shooting. I said, what in the world? I said, oh, it's the 4th of July. I haven't been home in 50 years on the 4th of July.
Wow. It's true, because most of the holidays, Bishop, we are
gatherings. So if we could look at even the time, it may help the local pastor even when we do have gatherings. Mm-hmm. So number one, look at maybe amalgamating, possibly, and timing when we do have them so that we could be home with our families. families make strong local churches. It was
Bishop, I ain't gonna lie.
it was 9 brothers and sisters that my mother and father had. Floyd, Ralph, Melvin, Florine, Aaron, Dwight, David, Denise, and Debbie. But he won all of us, and all of us were members of Greater Shiloh Church, helping my father become a gigantic success. Late great Bishop Walls was on live TV every Sunday, on radio for 50 years, streets named after him and all that, because he had a team of committed family members. If we can keep our families working with us and keep them at home with us, maybe we'll be a little more successful.
Bishop, the reason why I had to laugh, my mind went back to a text message that I had gotten from Mother Lewis on July 4th. She said, Lord Jesus, would these people stop shooting us? I can't take it. And it was so cute because it hit me too. I'm like, oh, I mean, because we're usually in the convention center and we're in the parade. Dun, dun, dun. We're in the parade. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. And we'll keep shouting until they stop shooting fireworks. And then we say, oh, man. And then we go to late night musicals. And
but this on the serious note of it, we weren't ever at home.
Yeah.
So let's look at the timeliness of I'm talking about as far as calendar wise.
Yes.
When we do have our gatherings, and then maybe it would help the local pastor not have to be away from his church as often as we are now.
Bishop, I know we're over our time, and the people are still here. They're still commenting. You can hashtag Bishop Walls, hashtag Bishop Walls. Go to the website. I see a lot of people have gone to the website and gotten those bonus gifts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go extend those out, and I'm going to add 50 to everything. So now we're going to do 50 more sanitizers, 50 more dining cards, and 50 more prescription cards. And I think we got some Bluetooth speakers. We're going to give those away too as well. Just go to our website, COGICFamilyLife.com. Go get some great stuff. Bishop, you've been with the church for a number of years, 50 years. I mean, you're chairman, trustee board, one of the highest positions in the church. Is there anything in the future for you that you would like to do? You've done almost literally everything.
Well, it's okay for me to talk about it, right? You want me to talk about it? I looked at it this way. I prayed. Matter of fact, I went to my wife and said to my wife, I said, I want you to pray with me and ask God to hear my prayer, give me some guidance on what I would like to do possibly in the future.
Okay.
And I looked at what the wealth of experience is that I have garnered over these 50-some years. I mean, over these 32 years on the trustee board. But I was on the very first Marshall Squad. I was on the very first security task force. Been on the trustee board for 32 years. So I've been doing it for over 52, 53 years. And then being on the trustee board, being there, knowing the budgetary restraints, our capabilities, knowing every department, every convention, all the national officials. I said, if there is openings, if I could bring this to the general board, not to be a person that knows everything, but knows what I know, that maybe I could be of assistance to the presiding bishop and the general board. So when we are doing these kinds of things, because I'm already being exposed to the ecclesiastical things that happen.
Yes.
I said, maybe that would, and then when 6 positions, and we lost 4 great general board members. Who would have thought that?
And never in history.
Then with our late great bishop, with our bishop Blake saying that his heart was, and then Bishop McKinney, I thought it would have been an excellent opportunity for me to have been a candidate for the general board and say, not to have a seat, but to be of a part of a team that has been a part of the, like Charlie Patterson,
yes,
treasurer, Bishop Anthony White, financial guys like us has been fiduciary responsible for the church. To have came to the general board with that experience, I thought the natural church would have looked at me. I came in with 156 votes, shy of 3,000 votes. And I've been getting those kind of votes every year for the last the last 3 or 4 elections. But I've been running strong every even before that. So they're saying to me, Walls, we trust you. You are one of the most trusted men we have. And I just thought that it would have been an opportunity for me to have then served in an area like that. So where do I see myself?
Yeah.
I would have seen myself being someone that could have been helpful. But now that that's maybe not going to happen, if y'all would re-elect me and have that voice of experience back on the trustee board with the great minds we have, we got some people running for the trustee board, even in incumbents, my God. But when you look at some of these other folk out there, we have some of the best, talented, wonderful people in the world. Who would not want to be around people like coming up, K.L. Mann and Bush and Wynell? I mean, Galbraith. I mean, these people's names that are out there.
Me too.
These are great people. These people love the church.
Yeah.
And, you got people. Jennifer Patterson. That girl. I mean, not girl. Jennifer Patterson is a lady that has the
she's behind the scenes all the time in those sneakers. She's making stuff happen.
She's a pedigree and she is around when her daddy was the chairman of. Listen, if you just sit there and listen, you're gonna learn something. All I'm saying is we have the greatest opportunity right now.
Yes. To
do what's right. And I'm asking you to look at Dwight Walls again. He ain't even called me. Just go down to the end of that ballot. And my name is Bishop Dwight E. Walls Sr. If y'all give me another chance, I want to serve my church, y'all. That's all.
Okay.
That's all I want to do. I want to serve the church.
Bishop.
And if y'all would do that for me and say, Dwight, you know what? We've been putting you on. We're going to do it again because we trust you. We trust you.
I think timing is everything.
Yeah. I've been married for 49 years. I got no girlfriends, no sweethearts. My son, you know what I did? I looked for the future. I'm gonna be through. I said, here you go. I looked at the future. I said, now I'm 70 years old and in good shape. The Lord has blessed me.
Bishop,
I said,
you're 70?
Yeah. I look good though, don't I?
Yeah. What?
Listen, what I did, but Steve, I said, what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to ask the church, Greater Shiloh Church, to give me the opportunity to be senior pastor and bring on these young folks to be pastor. Let them preach the funeral. Let them do the weddings. Let them do the negotiating the contracts. I am making a way now, even in my local church. I want to see the church go forward. Is what I'm saying. If I could do it at home, we could do it abroad.
Bishop, I'm going to let you say your closing comments we're going to ask Bishop Whitehead if he can come back in. If he come back in and see, Bishop, you've done amazing. This has been a wonderful talk with the chairman. Just the idea that you're going to create and open up the internship or the Walls Development Program. We call it the Walls Development Program. I mean, name it after a great leader, the Walls Development Program, that you can allow future trustee board members to get on and shadow and be mentored by the current trustees. So as we get prepared to move forward, right, Walls Development Program, Brother Steve, not for trustee right now. So, that's good information, Bishop. We're going to have Bishop Jack Whitehead come in and say a couple things, and then we'll have you say your final words to the delegates, Bishop, that you want to say. There's a lot of people watching tonight, a lot of people sharing, and there's our good friend, Lady Jennifer Patterson. That is pure. You can see her flyer, pure legacy. The Mason, the Patterson family, and like we said, you cannot be around those great leaders and not learn something or do something. Bishop Whitehead, I'll bring him in right now.
Okay,
you want to say closing with Bishop Walls?
All right. One thing that got my attention I wanted to just try to hang in there because he was saying so many good things. But I'm going to have to step away when I make this observation.
Yes, sir.
That the idea of tutoring or mentoring is the only thing that makes sense. You know, if we elect 5 people to the trustee board who have never been on the trustee board, there needs to be some way of giving people a tutoring time or a mentoring time. And even if they um, before the election, if they want to be voted on the trustee board, they should be able to say that they have spent time learning, mentoring, and observing. And so I hope that Bishop Walls is able to carry that idea further. And I think he's one of God's best. And every time I get a chance, I say to people, whenever he runs for the general board, there should be no discussion. 30 years involved in the business of the church. 32 should bring an end to that. I'm going to have to step away, but
Thank you, Bishop.
Bishop Walls knows that I am always going to be supporting him.
Thank you, Bishop Whitehead. God bless you. Bishop Wall, before we do our closing comments, we want to give respect to our presiding bishop, Bishop Charles E. Blake, great leader. Working with Bishop Blake, I've been with Bishop myself for over 30 years and working here with him at West Angeles. But Bishop, what words do you want to say? I mean, it's not what a man does in front of people, it's what he does behind the scenes. And I see how Bishop Blake operates even with his wife. It's helped me in my marriage. How he handles Lady Blake and the church and just people, period. What great words do you want to say regarding our presiding bishop, Bishop Blake?
Bishop Charles Edward Blake, in my opinion, is one of the greatest establishmentarians, presiding bishops, leaders of all time. All you have to do is follow him home. Anytime you have a membership of 20-some thousand and now it's paid for, breaking ground now on a Family Life Center, it is unbelievable what this man has done. He let me preach on a Sunday morning one time.
Yes, sir. I remember that.
Man, and to look in the people that he draws is almost enough to scare you half to death.
Yeah.
But just to see a man operate and then what he has brought, as a matter of fact, when you look at Bishop Owens and him, when you look at what they did budgetarily to keep the church afloat, there's none to compare with. None.
Wow.
And all the other bishops did a wonderful, great job budgetarily. But Bishop Blake is a magnet when it comes to these kinds of issues. When it comes to the spirituality, I can't say anything but great things about this man of God. This man kept his family together. His sons are preaching, daughters are in the church. His wife is a Michigander. And I mean, what can you say about a man that is as successful as he is, took a church with 50-some members and half of them didn't act right. And then to emerge as a world-class leader when presidents and potentates are calling on him for counsel. This man is somebody special. And I'm going to sorely miss him being at the helm of the church. So it's unbelievable. I have nothing but good. He made me a bishop. And he looked and seen that I was the chairman of the trustee board and Elder Hunt at that point and Elder Charles Patterson. And what we were doing, we had to deal with bishops and state supervisors and major leaders. So he thought it would be even to our advantage to say, I'm going to make you an auxiliary bishop because you need to be able to go in with some kind of a credential that would make you even have even more respect. So he even gave us respect when we didn't even think we'd ever get it. This man sees the best in people,
Yes.
is my point, and brings it out.
Yes. Yes.
That's what he is famous for also. He sees the best in people and he brings it out. So I don't know. And even when I was talking about the mentoring, we have trustees that are on the board now.
Yes.
And when we get reelected, this is what I want them to agree with me on, that as we go forward, that we make a way. It's not that I'm going to bring mentoring in before we even get elected. It's before, after we get elected, and then see what we have that's out there that still want to be a part of the church. It's not to take over our jobs and you come in and be on the trustee board. It's for them to be exposed. That's all about. And I think we can do that. And that is to keep the people, young people, in the church.
Yes, sir. What do you want to say before we let you do your closing comments and appeal to the delegates watching our broadcast right now? But what do you want to say to those? What word of encouragement? Let's go there. Do you want to say to those people who are running for the trustee board, and some of them may not have the exposure that others have, and you don't see as many flyer. Right now, we are in the midst of Flyer Fest right now, and you see flyers and program. But what word of encouragement? 32 years serving as the chairman. What word of encouragement do you want to say to those other people who may be pursuing the trustee board?
When you look at the current board, mimic yourself after the current board that you have now. You have some of the greatest minds that the church has to offer on the board right now. And if these younger folk and any middle-aged, whoever, look, I know there's not all these young folk running, but if people could then mimic, pattern themselves off of the experiences that are on the board now, because these people that are on the board now, a wealth of experience. I am the voice. That's my motto. I am the voice of experience. So is the members of the trustee board currently.
Yes.
You have some of the greatest minds of all time on the trustee board as I sit right now. Mm-hmm. You got 15 that's on it right now. That's some of the best qualified people in the United States of America to the republic to which it stands. I am serious about that. You have some very qualified people that could go other places in the church as well. This trustee board that we have now is a tremendous board. So let me encourage those and say what you said earlier. Stay around the church, learn the church, and your time may not be now. I had a desire to run for the general board. Ever since not my time. God is all about timing. And don't ever go anywhere where God, don't go anywhere where God don't want you to be or does not have a plan for you to be. Don't run off of what you want. Ask God. And if you're not successful, just say it's God's will and stay around the church. Stick with the church, love the church, and watch God give you an opportunity to serve the church. So I'm saying those that are running, stay with the ship. Don't go anywhere because your opportunity is going to come sooner or later. So that would be words of encouragement for those that are running now that are non-incumbents. You got 15 incumbents, and I'm telling you right now, you got some very intelligent people on that board right now, and I don't need to go down that list. And I just thank God for my local church, Greater Shiloh Church, that has put up with me. Great Bishop Walls left a wonderful work that's located at 1076 Bishop Walls Boulevard. He left. We have a school next door to our church. It's a 2-story ultra-modern school. We have one of the things that the late Bishop Walls left that he didn't get a chance to finish was a high-rise that served the seniors. We have my brother Melvin Walls grabbed a hold of that, and we put up the Melvin T. Walls high-rise in Ypsilanti. Then we said we got to continue the legacy of making sure that young people have a place to be trained. The properties that we have up in northern Michigan, the campground was left to the family, but what I turned around and did was got with the family. We donated it to the church and gave it to the church so that people in the church, in the community, will have a safe haven to go to a place on the lake where they can get in boats. go to sand dunes and go to Lake Michigan, go fishing, get on trails and walk trails, ride horses. We got all of that. And that was because we had a vision for the future. My vision is to keep the church together with what we have and just go forward together in God.
Bishop, everybody's commenting. Joyce L. Rogers, Supervisor Rogers is watching. Bishop Joe Chase commenting. Bishop, I'm going to let you say closing words, your appeal to the delegates out there watching our broadcast as everybody prepares to re-elect Chairman Walls for the National Board of Trustees. Go ahead, Bishop.
Again, Brother Steve, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for this opportunity and this platform to address the delegates, the friends, and the constituents of the Church of God in Christ to hear me and hear my heart. Know what my devotion is to the church, my experiences that I bring, my educational background, AA, CDA, Child Growth and Development, senior now at the University of Michigan. The bottom line is I'm ready, I'm educated, I love the Lord, I'm qualified, I'm experienced, and I want you to understand that I appreciate you and do not take you for granted. You don't have to consider me, but you've been doing it now for the past 8 terms, and I'm asking you to do it again and give me another chance and another opportunity to serve the church that I love and the leaders that I love. May God bless you is my prayer. And I just know that God is going to do whatever, let me do whatever he has planned for my life. So thank you so much, Brother Steve, for this platform and for this great, grand opportunity. And I want to thank the Board of Trustees, the current board, because I love each and every one of them, and let them know I said I got their back.
Wow. Mr. Chairman, thank you so very much. Stay with us as the people are still commenting. The comments are still going in. I have unlocked additional bonus gifts, so you want to go get your goodies right now. And we're going to be opening the door for some entrepreneurs. We're looking for Church of God in Christ entrepreneurs. We're looking for Church of God in Christ musicians and producers. We're going to open the door for a lot of people in the Church of God in Christ to let your voice be seen, to let you be heard, and let the glory of God come through everything that you do. And said, Bishop Wall, stay with us. We'll be right back. Don't forget to vote. Chairman, Bishop Walls, go all the way down the ballot. When it says Bishop Walls, vote Bishop Walls. If you see my name on the ballot, then you got the wrong ballot. All right? You don't want to do that. You want to vote Bishop Walls because he going to mentor me.
Yes, sir.
Together, go way on top. We're going to have to get Bishop Walls a scooter.
The voice of experience has got you.
Yes, right. Get Bishop Walls a scooter. All right. God bless y'all. We'll see you soon. Brother Steve from Hollywood, California. Bishop Wall just had some chili, so we got to let him go. So we're grateful. We thank God for you, Bishop Wall. I got your back. We'll be right back. Stay tuned, y'all.